Yes, all right, lads. Welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi, back live at 6 p.m. So we are gonna speak a couple of Arsenal transfers. I know you are interested in that. Updates around different players that we are interested in. We're gonna speak about that, but we shall also speak about what Fabrizio Romano has said, that Arsenal is apparently looking to move on players on the next days in order to announce our new signings. That is as per Fabrizio Romano. He says we will move on some players on the next days before we announce some of our new signings. So we are gonna dive into that uh, just for a moment. But there are a couple of stories that we need to talk about. We need to talk about Ban Leno's new contract, which I think was already in the pipeline. In my case, I think it was coming. It was really, really coming. So we speak about Leno in that regard. We speak about Andre Onana and get your reactions around Onana, because Arsenal are apparently losing Andre Onana to Inter Milan. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's really ridiculous, and I'm still fuming. So we'll speak about that. There is an interesting one. Ramos wants Arsenal. I mean, Sergio Ramos wants Arsenal, and this has been written by Goal.com. Well, look, I don't believe this story. I love Goal.com. I believe their stories, but I don't believe in this one. I don't believe it. And the good thing it is, it's not Charles Watts that has written it. I do love Goal.com, but when they say Ramos is waiting to hear from Arsenal on a potential transfer move, well, it's a little bit unrealistic. My ears, probably I got it wrong, and we're gonna discuss that. Which I'll take you through that article that Goal.com have written. And lastly, Manchester City and Everton have held talks with Brighton defender Ben White. So apparently, City and Everton have held talks with Brighton to sign Ben White as well. Right, so I mean, it's a mixed reaction show. We're gonna have, I mean, the Ramos thing, and that could be a little bit exciting to listen to. And then you have Leno new contract. For me, people like me who love Leno, that is a little bit exciting. Then of course we have the Onana deals and Ben White deals that are a little bit depressing. So make sure you hang on tight. One thing I'm very, very sure about is it's gonna be an interesting show. So where do we begin? Let us start off with the Ramos saga, right? Let us start off with the Ramos saga, because with Sergio Ramos, Arsenal wanting Ramos and Ramos wanting Arsenal, there is something that I do not understand. I love Spain, and we are playing today at exactly 7 p.m. East African time. That's around, I think that's around what? That's around 5 p.m. UK time. So make sure you tune in for Spain, Switzerland, 5 p.m. UK time. Let us get into it. This is Goal.com, and this is what they have written. They're saying Ramos in talks with PSG with former Real Madrid defender considering options as Arsenal ask for updates. Right? So they're saying, and the article has been written by Ruben Uria, right? 17 minutes ago. Ruben Uria has written this article, and he's the writer, and he says Ramos in talks with PSG as Arsenal ask for updates. So he says the World Cup winner has become a free agent after severing ties with the Los Blancos, but no further move has been agreed yet. Sergio Ramos is in talks with Paris Saint-Germain regarding a move to France, but goal has landed. No deal has been done, and Arsenal have asked to be kept updated regarding any future talks regarding the former Real Madrid captain. The 35-year-old World Cup winner has become a free agent this summer after reaching the end of his contract at the Santiago Bernabeu. He feels that there is still plenty of plenty left in the tank, and he's still hoping to land a 2-year-old deal somewhere that he was denied in the Spanish capital. First, the question here, of course, asked is will Ramos join PSG? And the answer is various options have been considered by the veteran centre half. Goal can confirm that the contact has been made with the League One giants PSG, but there is no agreement so far as a former offer from the French outfit is yet to be tapered, right? Um, the bigger picture, Ramos sees PSG as a suitable destination for him to prolong his distinguished career right there. So the Sergio Ramos deal, guys, what is your reaction first and foremost? Yeah, what is your reaction? Hit the like button if you like Sergio Ramos, but if you do not like the deal, you might like the player because I do rate the player a lot. But in terms of getting the deal, of course, he would offer a lot in terms of experience, leadership, the winning mentality. There's so many things that we would get out of signing Sergio Ramos. So many things, right? So many things. In signing Sergio Ramos, because one thing I think that he brings at the side that many players wouldn't give us is the fact that Arsenal do not have leaders. We lack leaders. Aubameyang is not a leader. He's just a captain. He's not a leader. If you're having Rob Holding as part of your leadership hierarchy, you can see the amount of mayhem that the club is facing. So I think Ramos to Arsenal would only be so good in terms of getting us the winning mentality. He's won a couple of UEFA Champions League cups with Real Madrid. Obviously, he's won the World Cup with Spain, and he's also won the Euros. I think it was the Euros 2012. Yes, exactly. With Spain as well, he's won the Spanish League One, the Spanish La Liga. Sorry, with Spain. So I think realistically, it would be a very, very good deal for Arsenal because what we get about from Ramos is what exactly Chelsea are getting from Thiago Silva. Because all of us were asking a big question: why is Chelsea going for Thiago Silva? Why don't they get young players? But eventually, we realized that the essence of signing a player like Thiago Silva, World Trafford. He's been captain everywhere and everywhere he's been, and he's massively experienced and talented. So it's the same thing with Sergio Ramos. He comes into Arsenal. I think it's gonna make Gabriel a world-class centre-back, honestly. Because Ramos, I'm not saying this because I love Spain as a national team, but him as a player, because I don't like Madrid and he's been at Madrid. So I'm not going to be malicious. I think he is one of the best, if not the best, centre back in the world. Ramos, of the past 15 years, he's been so consistent to an extent that we have not actually got time to realize, his mistakes. I think he's been so good. So do Arsenal need Ramos? 100%. Yeah. We do need Sergio Ramos, 100%. Will we get Sergio Ramos? That is a difficult one, bro. That's a difficult one. First and foremost, the competition. PSG. He looks at getting to, he's looking at a club where, you're leaving Real Madrid and you're going to PSG. It's almost, it almost feels like home. Yeah, because being with Real Madrid is a little bit different. The language in Spain, and of course you have, your family around. You have, you're born in Spain. You're Spanish, and all those things, right? But when it comes to PSG and Arsenal is a downgrade to Sergio Ramos, and I think PSG is an upgrade. Or if not an upgrade, at least he's not actually getting a massive downgrade. So for Ramos, I think he will choose PSG. I've seen a couple of rumors that the player is in talks with PSG, but still keeping an open ear to listen to what Arsenal is saying. Bullshit. I'm not buying it. I think the truth is Sergio Ramos is going to PSG. However, Arsenal could have asked, and I don't believe we have asked even to be updated around Sergio Ramos. Yes, we are in need of such a player, but it's ridiculous. 35 years of age, I'll take him for 2 years. I'll take him for 1 year because he wants a 2-year deal. I'll give him 2 years. If you have given a Willian 3 years, who's not for me, who's not proven anything special as a footballer, I'll give 2 years to Sergio Ramos because he's proven that he's a special defender. And like I said, the enormous benefits you're getting, by getting Sergio Ramos, are very, very high. So, I mean, that saga, what do you think about it, people? What do you think about it? What do you think about Arsenal going in for Sergio Ramos? Need to look at some of your comments. Someone is talking about Saliba. We'll talk about Saliba. I've seen the update as well. Right, I've seen the update. So Mora says Ramos is a good player and a very good replacement for David Lewis, experience wise. Right, you're very right. Arsenal signing Ramos is an achievement. They spent money on a the money spent on a defender could be used in the midfield, and Saliba must not move. Edward from Arua, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Edward. So like you lots are saying in the chat, I think all of you, what you're looking at Ramos is that experience, that extra hand, in terms of what other players can offer. I think he offers more in terms of experience, in terms of leadership, in terms of the winning mentality. Because in that Arsenal side, Rob Holding doesn't have it. Doesn't have the winning mentality. Even Aubameyang, I don't think Aubameyang really has the winning mentality. He doesn't have it. Leno from Bayer Leverkusen, he doesn't. Leno has not won anything at Leverkusen, so we don't have the winning mentality, honestly. And you need it. You need it. You're gonna reach times where, like we played in the semi-finals last season, the semi-finals of the Europa League. I could see this team really, really crumble. You have a manager who doesn't have the winning mentality. As a manager, he's not won so much, and as a player, he didn't win so much as well. So he's really just getting used to those situations on a big stage, on a Europa League night, and you're playing semi-finals, and you just one step away from the final. You're getting nervous. The team is nervous, and nobody could actually speak to the team. So I think in that regard, you would take Sergio Ramos. So for me, 100%, I would take Sergio Ramos. 100%. As a free agent, of course, his salaries are gonna be expensive. He's gonna ask for ridiculous amounts of money. But if the money is around, I'll take him. Yeah, I'll take him. I'll take Sergio Ramos all day long. But it is a deal that I don't see happen. So let us not get ahead of ourselves. Let us not get too excited, Arsenal fans. Yes, I do understand. We would love to have world-class players, and Ramos is world-class. But look, it's not happening. Let us not waste a lot of time. So as we speak about that, Fabrizio Romano, this is his tweet, and that is his official Twitter account. He says Arsenal are now working to sell players, then new signings to be announced soon. And it says Guendouzi wants to join Olympique Marseille. Xhaka deal with AS Roma at final stages. Price tag around 20 million euros for Bellerin. The same for Torreira, not advanced with Lazio. Camavinga to Arsenal. There is nothing, not even talks. I want to speak about that. Yeah, I want to speak about that. I know you want me to speak about Camavinga, but I won't. It's a total waste of time. So when Fabrizio says, of course, he tweeted this, and a couple of hours later, he tweeted about the two deals that we are gonna finish. That was Lokonga and Nuno Tavares. Tavares has finished his medical. Apparently, I've seen articles flying around that Tavares has finished his medical and is now set to be announced as a national player. Lokonga for Lokonga, the medical is set, but not yet done. So we are still waiting for his medical. So with Fabrizio, he says we will look to sell players in the next days, and then new signings will be announced. I think with our new signings, it's getting a little bit heated up. Nuno Tavares, that one is a done deal. Lokonga, we're just waiting for the medical. That one is over. So the players that we are waiting for at the moment is Matteo Guendouzi. Guendouzi will join Olympique Marseille. Arsenal have agreed to reduce their asking price. I think initially our asking price was around 20 million euros. We were stuck at that. We wanted 20 million euros. And Olympique Marseille was saying, you know what? We are not giving you that much. We're not giving you that much money. We don't have it. So Arsenal apparently have accepted to reduce the standards, to reduce the demands to around 15 million euros. Will a deal happen very soon? We are still waiting for that. Xhaka deal in the final stages. That is according to Fabrizio Romano. His deal is in the final stages, so we're just waiting for Xhaka to leave as well. I think the moment, like I said yesterday, the moment Mourinho arrives in Rome, then it's gonna be a done deal. But how do you feel about Arsenal selling Granit Xhaka? Let me know in the comments below, because there are mixed reactions. There are people like me, who have seen the worst of Granit Xhaka, and all I can say is let him go. Honestly, yeah. That's all I can say. Let him go. I don't see why so many people, are having this, are having these, very hard debates. Xhaka and how good he is. Yes, he's a comfortable player. He's a comfortable midfielder, and we talked about him. And I said he doesn't work for me in the Premier League. It was, if I was, if I was a Dortmund, probably I would ask for him. I don't know if he would face, he would meet the best demands at Dortmund, but I would take him because it's in the German Bundesliga. But at Arsenal, really, I don't. So, with Granit Xhaka, I think it's just a matter of time. Guendouzi, a matter of time. I think the two deals that are quite difficult is the Torreira deal, because with Lucas Torreira, his destinations are quite limited. It is either Italy or South America or things like that. And then the clubs that are interested in him don't want to pay the money that Arsenal is looking for, because Arsenal is valuing the player at around 20 million euros as per Fabrizio Romano. And Lazio are saying they want to give us around 12 million euros. So you can see, there's a lot of misunderstanding there, between Arsenal and Lazio. But I think, and I'm very, very sure, a deal will get done for Lucas Torreira. Now, what is interesting is Hector Bellerin. According to Fabrizio, 100% Arsenal will sign in a new right back, and Hector Bellerin will leave the club 100%. However, there are also reports that are coming out, recently, actually not even 24 hours ago, that Arsenal is planning on keeping Hector Bellerin. And look, the only good thing is, and that's why I've not actually made it, a major story. I think the good thing is I've not had that from a major outlet, right? I've not had that from a major outlet. But what worries me is with Hector Bellerin, this is what happened last summer, right? This is what happened last summer with Hector Bellerin. He was, leaving. It's Barcelona, it's PSG, it's blah blah blah. He's wanted here and there, and finally, Mikel Arteta decided, right? He decided that Hector Bellerin is going to leave. He's going to stay, and I didn't get it. Honestly, if you're gonna be honest, I didn't get it. I didn't understand why Hector Bellerin stayed at Arsenal last summer. The same goes to Granit Xhaka, and I've seen a couple of reports saying it was for issues of cohesion. He wanted to keep the team contact because of the COVID-19. It's ridiculous. They're all excuses. I think Bellerin needs to go. He's had one of the worst seasons a player could ever have. I don't see him turn things around. The players like Pepe, because I don't think Pepe had the best season of his life, but you can see a player who's willing and has a chance to turn things around. I think Pepe will turn things around next season. I think Burnley this season has been awful, but next season, if he works hard, he can turn things around. Hector Bellerin, if you fail to take a throw in, for me, you're done for. That is it. You're done for. You don't have a place at Arsenal. So the clubs that have been looking at Hector Bellerin recently, of course, he's been having a tour in Italy and in Spain, and it's been Inter Milan that have been quite serious about him. I've not seen any other serious deals with Hector Bellerin signing. It's been Inter Milan, and what they want is to take the player on loan first, and then sign him on a contract that has an obligation to buy. So they will need permission. They will need permission from Arsenal. However, the report saying that Arsenal is considering, they could be tempted to keep Hector Bellerin. What are your thoughts, guys? Let's just let that sink in, right? Let's just let that sink in. What are your thoughts on Arsenal keeping Hector Bellerin? Because for me, it's ridiculous. really ridiculous. I don't want to be fuming because on this show there are so many people new and those used to me and those not used to me. So I need to keep a very good self image, right? So please do smash the like button. Bellerin, does he go? Does he stay? But Fabrizio says the moment those ones leave, Arsenal will announce its first signing. So we're still waiting for those players to leave. I'm very hopeful that Granit Xhaka and his Switzerland are not gonna progress past Spain. I'm very hopeful against that. On that. So I think Spain will get that one done, and Granit Xhaka will have to decide his future very soon, right? So we've looked at we've looked at the first two stories, which is Fabrizio saying that Arsenal is about to announce its first signings, and then Sergio Ramos wanted at Arsenal. Let us dive into what I would call the major news today, and that is Andre Onana to Inter Milan with Leno set to sign a new contract. I've seen the rumors, I've seen the reports that Leno has apparently been offered a new contract to stay at Arsenal. Now he is the same man who came out a couple of weeks ago and he said, I'm very open. If Arsenal give me a contract, I'll sign. If they don't give me a contract, I'm very open to a new challenge, and I would love to play somewhere else. Wow, that was really good politics, Ban Leno. Really good politics. And I remember it was still in the season when he made these remarks, and I said this is a deal. I mean, this is a strategy to pull off a new deal, because if Leno, with that, with those remarks, if Leno was leaving Arsenal, right, we could have had so many rumors, because a decent goalkeeper. He is a decent goalkeeper, right? So PSG could have come in for him. Maybe Bayern could have come in. Any other club could have come in for him, right? So we have not had any links between Leno and any other club. And finally, boom, into the living room, a deal is going to be announced, and rumors have it that Arsenal have offered Leno a new deal. So I think it was just a matter of time. I never felt it deep down in my heart that it was going to leave. And I've seen that Arsenal have been looking at Aaron Ramsdale as a potential replacement. Come on. Really, come on. I mean, you can't replace Leno with Aaron Ramsdale. Yes, he can be a second choice goalkeeper. You can decide to keep 25 million pounds on the bench. Who cares? But in my opinion, Leno is gonna sign a new contract and he'll stay at the club. So with Leno signing a new contract, with Leno in the line to sign a new contract, that means Andre Onana, who wants to become, who wants to be a first choice goalkeeper wherever he goes, will not be signing for Arsenal, and that means the player will be going to Inter Milan. So my question on these two is, who do you prefer? Would you take Leno? I mean, we are somewhat back at step one where we were last summer. Do you pick Martinez or do you pick Leno? And eventually, I think the Leno team, we won. We did it. Get on the lads. But by the time the season ended, I think Leno had disappointed us, and I think Martinez. I'm still backing Leno, right? Even if the debate comes back, Martinez and Leno, who do you take? I still take Leno. But last season, I think Martinez won it. He was so brilliant. He was so good, right? So brilliant, so good. So Onana now will go to Inter Milan because we cannot, first and foremost, we cannot offer him fast choice football. I've seen rumors that Arsenal will not try to sign Onana because his ban expires in November. So in August, September, October, he can't play for Arsenal in the opening 3 months of the season, and then after that he will go out to Africa for AFCON in January. So I mean, that means he's gonna miss around 4 to 5 months of playing time, with the club. So I think Arsenal looking at it as a difficult deal. But honestly, if you talk about Onana the Onana deal in this sense, the beginning could not be the best because he still has a ban that was reduced by the Court of Arbitration. for sport, but I mean, it's still a ban, and the ban still stands. But if we think about it, if we are to talk about it, this is a deal that is just 9 million euros. And if you're Arsenal and you have so many priorities and you want to save money, this is the deal you do. I mean, that is what I would think. This is the deal you do. You want to save some money. I just didn't get it, right? I just didn't get it. Why Arsenal, didn't try as much as possible to sign Andre Onana? And of course, from with more reports coming in, I've heard that Arsenal didn't even make an official bid, because I didn't say it honestly, and I didn't report about it. We have had negotiation with Ajax, but there's not been any official bids reported that Arsenal has made an official bid to Ajax to sign Andre Onana. So at the end of the day, I think Inter Milan are going to get a very nice goalkeeper. That is a deal of a goalkeeper that could be in your goalposts for 10 good years. 10 good years. And we have given him away. So I mean, it's painful that he's gone. I would love to get your thoughts on what you think about Andre Onana and the deal collapsing. But honestly, it's one of the deals I would have wanted. We need a backup goalkeeper. Bring in Onana at least for one season. Let Leno go. Let Leno go in the next summer and make Onana your first choice goalkeeper. I thought that was the easier thing to do, but for Arsenal, apparently, it wasn't the easier thing to do. So let's discuss the last story, which is Ben White, holding talks with Manchester City and Everton. That is another ridiculous one, really ridiculous. But finally, I found my way around it. Yeah, I found my way around it, and then we'll talk about Saliba as well, because there is an interesting story about William Saliba beginning the season at Arsenal. So Saliba and Ben White, I think we should talk about them in the same in the same story. So what happened? Yesterday, I think it was around 10 p.m. 10 p.m. I was about to go to sleep because I think I had finished streaming the last show. I was on my Twitter handle and I saw a couple of reports from the Sports Mail that apparently Arsenal could lose Ben White to Everton. So what they were claiming was Ben White and Brighton have held talks with Manchester City and Everton for a potential move. That was it. So I let that sink in for some time, and then I finally got the right reaction because I was absolutely fuming. So I mean, I think what is happening at the moment is Brighton know Arsenal do not want to give them 50 million pounds in guaranteed payments, because what they want is 50 million pounds in guaranteed payments so that they can take more money in terms of add-ons. What Arsenal are offering at the moment is 42 million pounds. I mean 45 million pounds in guaranteed payments and 5 million pounds in add-ons. Brighton know they cannot turn down this bid. They cannot turn down that money. They cannot turn it down. But what they're trying to do is, they're trying to scapegoat the likes of the likes of Everton, the likes of Manchester City. They're trying to create a small screen, and that's why the moment Benitez arrives at Everton, boom, they come up with a saga that Everton is willing to pay 50 million pounds in guaranteed payments, 5 million pounds in 5 million pounds in add-ons, with a sell-on clause put into the player's contract. And they have also said, I don't know if they paid the Mail, because the Mail made it so beautiful. If I was an Everton fan, I would be flying over them on. The Mail said the player has been tempted, right? The player has been tempted by the speed at which Everton is doing the deal. I mean, the speed of Everton is tempting Ben White. Doesn't make sense. Come on. Yes, you're right. You need all of us do stories so that we get the views. But that one was ridiculous. A ridiculous clickbait, right? Ridiculous. Because there's no way telling me the speed of Everton, the speed at which Everton is running. You could have said maybe Everton is offering a bigger deal to Ben White. That would make some sense. But they said, and I quote them, that the player is keen to leave Brighton. He's keen to move. He's keen on a move to Arsenal. However, he's been tempted by the speed at which Everton are running the deal. Wow, really wow. Ridiculous reasoning for me. Ridiculous reasoning. I mean, players are not tempted by how fast the deal is running. Players are tempted by different things. Very, very different things. So, with Ben White, Manchester City, there is no interest from City, honestly, unless otherwise. Of course, they have created, concocted stories that Laporte is gonna leave the club. So, Guardiola wants Ben White as a possible replacement. Right? Look, City have two defenders that I think they will rely on next season: John Stones and Ruben Neves. Laporte is not even a starter. They have Ake. They have signed Nathan Ake last summer. He's not even a star. He's not even playing football. So how the hell do you tell us at this point in time they're also looking at signing 50 million Ben White? It's ridiculous. They have linked with Manchester United, and I think with United, it's a little bit. With United, it's a little bit believable, right? United, it's a little bit believable, and the reason that's why it's believable is they have had ridiculous moments with Lindelof and Harry Maguire. So what they want is to find in a player who can play with Harry Maguire in that centre back partnership. And they're saying, look, this is going to be Ben White. I think United's interest is in Rafael Varane, and I think they will close the deal, right? So because with Madrid, they're saying if you want to take the player, you've got. I mean, they're telling the player, if you want to stay at Madrid, you've got to cut your wages. And Manchester United is offering the player a very juicy deal. So for me, that is already in glass. United will get Rafa Varane, just like they got Jadon Sancho. So with United, I still write them off as well. I write them off until the Rafael Varane deal fails to go through. Ben White, no, not really. It's not there. It's not happening. With Everton, I don't know because it is if you look at the stories, it is only the sports mail, and I'm asking myself actually is the question I'm asking myself is, if Everton have come at a very terrific speed, why is it only the sports mail that has been informed of this? So for me, it is Brighton trying to pull Arsenal's leg, right? So I mean, look, if you're gonna pay in excess of £50 million, then the deal is getting ridiculous. Calm down, Brighton. You've not sold so many players. We understand that money is enough for you, right? That money is really, really enough for you. So I think as soon as the Euros end, or as soon as England crash out of the Euros, which I don't think will happen, Arsenal could have Ben White. Chris Whitley says this deal is all but done, right? Says the deal is all but done. So I don't really see where the concocted stories are really coming from, and they don't make a lot of sense for me. Right, they don't make a lot of sense for me. So that is basically that is what that is the update around Arsenal today. Hello Kosi. I'm a Chelsea fan, but you're doing amazing work. Thank you so much. You call yourself WhatsApp, so thank you so much, bro. We need young players. This is according to Jen, and I think this is that is what Arsenal is focusing on. That is what Arsenal is focusing on at the moment. As far as I'm concerned, Arsenal wants to get in young players that can develop into great talents. That is what we're focusing on. Young players that can develop into great talent. So you look at the likes of, if you look at all the players that have recently been linked with, I think it makes sense. It only makes sense. We've been linked with the likes of Tavares, Nuno Tavares. He's 21, 20 years of age. Lokonga is 21 years of age. Bisuma is 24. Abuendia was 25. I think all the players that have been Ben White is 23. Odegaard is 23. Madison is 24. So all the players that we're linked with are all young players. And I absolutely agree with you. The good thing with young players is you have time to develop them, build a system around them, and then eventually you're gonna achieve what you want. So it's easy to build something into young players. Look at Saka, perfect player. He's a perfect player. If Saka delivers at that rate for 2 consecutive seasons, he's a top class player, right? Nicola Pepe, the reason as to why we can be patient with Pepe is because it's 26, 20, 25, 26. Yeah. In the next 2 seasons, when he becomes 28 in the next 2 years, Pepe could become a top class player. So I agree with you. In this window, we need to focus more on getting younger players than actually, focusing on getting very, very old players. So I think, I think that is right. Young, experienced players. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It would be ridiculous for us not to go for 19 years of age, 16 years of age. It would be quite ridiculous. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Did you say Happy New Year? I think it's Happy New Month. Saliba rejected. Olympic, good on him. Now Arsenal can sign Kunde Ota as his partner, as Gabriel, and Holding likely signings for Newcastle. No, I think Gabriel will stay at the club. He is in big preparations and plans for Mikel Arteta. So I don't think he will leave. I don't think Gabriel will leave. But William Saliba. So with Saliba, Saliba with a couple of French internationals have been dropped for the Olympics. And I've seen Saliba, I've seen Kamavinga, yeah, I've seen Saliba, I've seen Kamavinga, and a couple of other players, right? Yeah, and a couple of other players. So they've been dropped, but they've been dropped for the Olympics. Yeah, they've been dropped for the Olympics, so they'll not be getting they'll not be participating in the Olympics. And what that means is, at the beginning of the season, Saliba will be available, and he will also be available for all the preseason at Arsenal. And one of the things I've looked at is an interesting quote. Someone was saying that Saliba gets into talks and with his agents and Arsenal, and then eventually he's pulled out of the Olympics. Maybe there is something that is that's going on behind the scenes that we don't understand. But I think he needs a trial. He needs a fair try. He needs a fair trial. I mean, all the players around are getting chances. Why is Saliba not getting a chance? It's ridiculous. So I think he needs a fair try. He's gonna get his chance. Let him use it, right? Let him use it. So I think Saliba, will begin the season, but Gabriel will not leave. Rob Holding, if Ben White signs, then Holding has high chances of leaving the club. For the first game, we won't have Gabriel because he will have to quarantine due to Olympics. This is according to then you have Pablo Mari. We have Pablo Mari. We have backup. We have good backup. Ramos is a good player and a very, very good replacement of David in terms of experience. We looked at that as well. David says Ramos is joining PSG soon, and Messi announced he is a fan of QPR. Crazy, isn't it? Really crazy. Is Everton going for Ben White? Oh, my team Arsenal. I think with Everton, we need a more credible source. But if it is the sports mail, no, it is Arsenal. It is Arsenal. Unless we get a more interesting update from a more credible source. Walter, Arsenal. Everton and Manchester City are interested. Interested is different from talks. Interested is different from going all out. I mean, interest is there. Norwich could be interested as well, right? So Brandon Walter says, which team is close to Ben White to the Ben White deal? It's Chris Whitley says it's all but done for Arsenal. The sportsmen are saying Everton are moving at a terrific speed and they could take the player. Where does it end? I'm not really sure about it. And Brendan says none of them. But Brendan, I think the truth is Arsenal is close to this deal. If we check the records of the most trusted journalists, including Sky Sports, right? Including Sky Sports, yeah, including Sky, including The Guardian, including Fabrizio, including David Onstein, including Charles White. All of them have said and they have tweeted that Arsenal is close and closer and closer to getting the Ben White deal done. Unless something changes, for me, that is what that is what I'm keeping in my head. So let us see where things end there. It's always down to the player where he wants to go. This is Brendan. Of course, it's true. Of course, it's true. If the likes of Everton, City, and United are involved, then it will go down to the player. But if it is one team that is interested and the player wants to leave and he's okay with joining Arsenal, then I think it will be, it will be an easy one to decide. Joseph says, really, that is insightful, isn't it? We really need Sergio Ramos because he is a good, because of his good leadership spirit. Right? Thank you so much. Brennan says sell him, then they can sign Locatelli as there is interest, but no bid made yet, according to Mikel Arteta. I've seen so many. I've seen so much of this. Bid in, bid not in. I really don't understand what is going to happen with the Locatelli deal. I really can't understand. But all I know is yesterday, Sassuolo confirmed that we have a bid. Right? Probably Mikel is trying to keep his business underground. You never know. Confirmed when Arsenal signed the player. This is according to Ceci. Kosi, what about Lacazette? Is he going? Or man is gonna stay? With Alexander Lacazette, what I've had from more reliable sources is Arsenal would love to move on the player, but the problem is his wages. Clubs around Europe do not want to pay his wages. That is it, right? So clubs around Europe are interested in this deal, including Atletico, including Juve, but they don't want to pay the wages of the player, and the high chances that he will stay at Arsenal until his contract runs down. Why is Edu going for some average cheap players? As far as I'm concerned, Sami Lokonga is a waste to me. We got El Neni already. I think Edu priority for now should be attacking midfielders. Lokonga is not a waste of money, guys. Let's be honest. Lokonga is not a waste of money. Signing Albert Sambi Lokonga is not a waste of money. For 21 million euros, with the capacity he has and the ability and potential, it's not a waste of money. Let's be more realistic, right? Let's be more realistic. I think Lokonga comes in as El Neni has to leave at some point in time. It's not good enough. Not good enough. So Lokonga, for me, comes in as a direct replacement of Mohamed El Neni, right? But he also comes in as a future talent that's going to develop not so long from now. At least 2 years or 1.5 years, you have Lokonga arrived. So it's not a waste of money, guys. It's not a waste of money. You also need the squad depth. Don't forget that. Champions of Europe. We know what we are. And then Shama says, Arsenal now moving like a big team again. Again, up the Chelsea London is blue. Big up Sharma. I think you're a Chelsea fan. Is Camavinga coming to Arsenal? No. Fabrizio has said that with Camavinga nothing is on. I'm also asking myself how come that Everton is on the verge of signing Ben White, but Arsenal first I saw that that of Manchester. No, look, right. You're really right. There's nothing. I'm really not even buying into the idea. What happened to the Houssem Hour transfer? I think with Houssem Hour, it is still Champions League. right? It is still Champions League. Without Champions League, we will struggle. Hello, Kosi. How are you doing, Nazil? Um, what are the confirmed deals? I think I'll do a video about that. But the confirmed deals at the moment, it is Lokonga and Nuno Tavares. I feel Saliba should be given a chance. That guy is a talent, massive talent, massive talent. So no one can disagree with us. Saliba is a massive talent. We need some quality players like Ronald. What do you mean Ronald? I've seen this name around. Ronald. Who's Ronald, guys? Who's Ronald? Um, who's Ronald? Some more detail, please. Kosi, it's like I said, saying we've talked about that. Spend money and buy good players, not cheap. Players could be cheap but good, guys. Players could be cheap but good. All for me I need is an upgrade. As long as we get upgrades, in other areas, where we need upgrade, we need quality, got no problems with it. Well done, Kosi, following your update quite well. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Kingsley. Really means a lot when someone gives you that positive comment, doesn't it? What about the Saliba issue? With Saliba, I think it will be decided on the next hours. That's us. On the next days. It's difficult. If Ben White signs, one of Saliba and Rob Holding will have to leave. Yeah. So let us wait for the Ben White deal, probably. Hello, Kosi. I think Arsenal should focus on signing Maddison and Locatelli. I think with Maddison, it's expensive, but Arsenal have had their eyes there. With Locatelli, it remains Juventus leading the rest, but we also have our eyes there. But look, you get Maddison and Locatelli, midfield fixed. You're not looking for anything. You're not looking for anything. We don't want the white. We don't want white because we have Saliba. I was reading an article about what Ben White, what the strength of Ben White are, and what he would bring to Arsenal. And if you look at what he brings, he has as a player and Saliba, probably you could rethink. I might be tempted to share that. Right? Why not move Holding and Saliba? Why not to move Holding and Saliba to stay? Arteta must be fair to our top prospects, unless otherwise he will be the one leaving Arsenal. I think it's been really unfair the way he's treated William Saliba. Really unfair. Hello, Kosi. What about I think you're talking about the Our deal. I've talked about that. I think it's a deal that Arsenal would love to do, but the player wants Champions League football. We should try to sign Houssem Aouar. If we sign him, we will be title contender. I don't think so, but thank you so much for the comment. What about Locatelli? Is he going to Juve or Arsenal? And Ben White update. We talked about Ben White. I've talked about Ben White, and I say Ben White. Chris Whitley says 90%. It is all but done. All but done. Everything agreed apart from the deal being done. With Juve and Locatelli, we still is it what did we say? Locatelli, right? So with Locatelli, it is Juve. They have scheduled a meeting with Sassuolo, so we have to wait and see what comes out of there. Lokonga is a masterpiece in waiting. I mean, look, we are judging Lokonga too early. And it's unfair. We need a new goalkeeper. As a backup goalkeeper, I think we will sign in a backup goalkeeper, right? I think we'll sign in a backup goalkeeper. But if you're saying we need a new goalkeeper to replace Leno, it's mixed reactions. Kosi, what about the midfielder from Wolverhampton? That is you're talking about what's the name of that guy? Nuno is in my head. Nuno is Nuno. Okay, just picking that. Who's that midfielder at Wolves? I've just forgotten the name, right? Not Neves. It's called Neves, but not Bruno. Not Nuno. So someone, it's called Neves. Someone remind me of that name, people. Someone remind me of that name. Okay, so let me say, let me just look for that. How the hell did I forget that name? Ruben Neves, yeah, Ruben Neves. So I was looking for that. So with Ruben Neves, Arsenal were apparently interested. We talked about that. Arsenal were apparently interested, but there was nothing. There was no contact with Wolves. There was no contact with the player, so the deal is dead. Apparently, the deal is dead. Locatelli, he's not fit for us. We need Ozil type of player. Howsam, always good. Locatelli and Ozil would play in the same team because Locatelli is not a creative player. He is actually coming in as a direct replacement for Granit Xhaka, right? For Granit Xhaka. Of course, that doesn't mean if you get Locatelli, you don't sign in a number 10, honestly. I want Renato Sanchez. This is according to Praka. Thank you so much. Ivan says Ruben Neves. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. Was just really looking for that name. Osman says, "Oh God, help Arsenal now." As well. Alban saying Ruben Neves. Thank you so much. He's talking about Ruben Neves. That's Praka. Thank you so much. In fact, Arsenal should sign the player. This is according to Ceci. Ruben Neves is a decent player. Yeah, Ruben Neves is a decent player. Thank you so much, Kingsley, as well. And then Ranger says, what about Bissouma? Bissouma deal, Arsenal could trigger that at any point in time, but at the moment, nothing. Nothing at the moment. Hi Kosi, just joined the stream. Hope you're doing good. I'm better. I mean, I'm healing from COVID-19, by the way, guys. I'm healing from COVID-19. Want to thank everybody that took care of me during that period. You guys are the best. Howsam our update? Nothing as for now. Still quiet. We need the quality play. We need quality players next season. I agree with you. Ceci. And then Afidra says you're looking for the name Ruben Neves. So guys, it's been an interesting show to come here and talk to you. Very, very interesting. 100 people watching. Please do smash the like button. Please do smash the like button. Help your boy get to more subscribers by subscribing. So if you want me to get to more and more subscribers, consider subscribing. Please and please do subscribe to this show, to the channel. It really, really means a lot. When will Smith-Rowe sign his new contract? He's apparently been out on holiday. Yeah. Sifel, he's apparently been out on holiday, and he's expected to sign the new contract the moment he's coming back. He comes back. So I'm going to watch the Euros. I'm going to watch the Euros. I'm supporting Spain and I'm backing Spain to win it. Bring it home, the lads. And we are playing Switzerland. You're right. Arsenal keep worrying me all day. Sorry, Matthew. I'm gonna watch Spain at exactly 7 p.m. at exactly 19 hours. That is when we're gonna watch Spain. And I hope it goes down well. I hope really it goes down well. We're playing Switzerland, and I think Spain will win it. Our problem is Alvaro Morata. That is our only problem. Alvaro Morata. But watch out for Italy-Belgium. Let me know what you think about that game, Italy-Belgium. I think it will be an interesting one to watch. Really interesting. But in the end, I think it's been a very good run from Italy. Nobody expected them to come this far, but Belgium is too strong for them. So I expect Belgium to go through on that one. And then tomorrow, I think England will go through as well. Right, so I'm about to go and watch that game. Very, very. Because you tell the Arsenal board to call back William Saliba. I think Saliba might stay. Saliba might stay. I mean, it's all in the air. Praka says sell William. With William, Arsenal want to offload him. The player wants to go, but no one wants to sign him. That is the problem. Arsenal will sign any sign any creative midfielder in the window. It's on top of our priorities. But nothing confirmed as well as yet. A win for Switzerland as well as Belgium. I mean, they could surprise us, Switzerland. They could surprise Spain. But I think Belgium will beat Italy. You've been a very interesting audience. I would love to talk to you at exactly 9 p.m. But I think we'll be having Belgium and Italy. So I'll speak to you 1 hour before the Belgium Italy game. So make sure you tuned in. We'll speak about many Arsenal transfers then. For now, I sign out.